Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
Every week, my best friend Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles and nonsense that life throws our way. We
Mm.
drown in the quicksand of depression every once in a while because just
It's
bad
good.
stuff happens. Steven, like natural disasters, just cyclical, just chaos happens.
Hmm.
I got swept up in a little bit in it today, Steven. I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling like myself. I'm trying to get out of it a little bit. Like, although, I feel like we always talk about everything on the show, so I'm not like, oh,
Hmm.
let's just skirt right through it. But it's like it's very fresh, and I'm just like, oh crap, how do I navigate this?
This is
But
this is a new wound, and the
yeah, but
wound's still bleeding a little bit. So
yeah. So that so like right now, I'm kind of going through the motions of feeling some stuff. But we try to get through this stuff. We talk about our process and what we went through this week. How have you been this week? No, let's start with this, Steven. Steven. What did you, don't tell me what you did. What did you want to accomplish this
I
week?
wanted 3 pages.
Okay, so you were like, I'm gonna do 3 pages. And then
Hmm.
like, okay. And I was like, I don't have any pages to do at all, so I'm gonna work on movie stuff. And like I just had like I have a D&D to work on and movie stuff. That was my plan. And what happened to me was life happened. Like did you have any like issues or anything like come up this week?
So I just I don't know why I don't. I just never really account the toll of time
Yeah.
that hosting a holiday really is. Like, because
Yeah.
you think like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be busy between the hours of 2 and 5 on Sunday.
Right.
No.
Oh.
It's the shopping beforehand. It's the prep. It's the sudden, like, oh, well, we're not gonna be able to make that. So how about we go do this beforehand? Blah, blah, blah. So, like, my weekend was just consumed with, seeing people that we weren't going to be able to see, and then also like going grabbing stuff,
Mhm.
preparing stuff beforehand, preparing stuff during, going to a brunch before we even hosted our own Easter. Like it was just there was just a lot going on that like I always just think of the actual holiday
Yeah.
like hosting portion of time as the time, and it's like no, there
No,
is so much prep
literally
involved.
a cone endlessly on
Yeah.
either side of it, infinitely. Just
Hmm.
yeah, it's I get that. I mean that's its own natural disaster. I mean,
Yeah.
thankfully, like hopefully it was a good one. Did you have a good
It
Easter?
was a good Easter, but like I will say one of the things that's been difficult this year, like it was Brandon, and we also like pseudo celebrated Brandon and I's birthdays on Sunday. And like you can just feel the energy, like, Oliver and Dustin are over and like Rachel's not there. And it's like this is the first kind of big holiday since she's passed away that we're celebrating without her. So there's a lot of heaviness in the air
Yeah, of course.
around that,
Oh
like
God.
my mom wasn't, my mom was of course like ecstatic to be there, like loves us, but my mom was crying a little bit, and
Oh, of
like
course. How can you not?
Mother's Day is I'm sure gonna be difficult too, and yeah, it's gonna be the first years I can imagine is probably with someone like as close as like a sibling, those holidays that you encounter and like those moments that you would share with them knowing that they're not there, and like the reminder,
Um,
it's probably gonna be ever present this year as each
yeah.
holiday hits.
Oh God, of course. I mean, I imagine to some extent it never goes away or it like
Hmm.
adapts over time. Like it kind of evolves over time.
It changes the mood, and then you gotta
Yeah.
like readapt to like this without, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
actually wearing a shirt she got me for Christmas. It was a Deer Hunter shirt that she bought me,
Oh,
but
it's pretty.
yeah, so yeah, that part of it was a little tough. I'm like, and it's still the same when it comes to that situation. It's a situation for me where I think about her every day. I
Yeah.
get sad, like, but mm, not to the surface enough to where I feel like I'm actually sad because of her, but I'm sure it is the reason why there's like this like weight in my life. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You just got to keep lifting the weight off until,
Yeah.
I mean, life still goes. I mean, life quickly goes on. Life was moving on within a week of her.
It's crazy how
It's
that
just the
happens.
truth.
And it's, I mean, not to compare like one trauma
Mhm.
to or one tragedy to another, but it's just like going through this thing today, like
Mm.
just to give like a very quick summary to the
Something.
people, my fiance was making a good amount of money and like we were living happily and comfortably, and then out of nowhere, her job just told her that she's going to essentially be making half of that amount, which is not going to help us live very happily or comfortably. And we're going to have to make, oh, not just adjustments, but like probably some pretty big scary changes and we're gonna figure it out, you know.
Hmm.
But it's like it's been weighing on us all day because this was very sudden. It's like, getting hit by a car, just out of nowhere.
I just can't
Uh,
believe that. I mean, obviously, with what I think like how I understand what she does, I can see, I
yeah.
guess, how that's possible. But like, that's crazy to think about or to even consider that that's a possibility. I mean, I guess the alternative would be if that company just says, "Well, we're closing entirely,"
Well,
like
and I mean, I hate to be like, oh, silver linings, but like, yeah, there were a lot of people who had a very same or similar position that were just let go. And I know
mm,
there are a lot of people out there who are facing that sort of thing right now. And it's just like, it's scary. And what she does is like copywriting. So it's,
mm.
that AI is taking over those jobs for the worse, of course, and it always will be. But like, it's just everything about that is depressing. Like you feel that and it's like, oh, it's here we are. Like,
It shouldn't even like, and like I'm sure there's going to be a barrage of opinions on this because I know
oh.
there's people that really embrace it, and but like as an artist, um it's just so crazy to me that that's even allowed. Like what I'm saying, like I feel like there should be some sort of limitation when it comes to
Well, we
that,
yeah,
like
but I mean, that's just where we are. Like, they create this thing was created like out of nowhere. They're like, oh, here we go, and we're gonna use it as a tool. But everyone knows that unregulated tools always become like weapons for greed. One way or
hmm
it's just
the
like, all
guy
right,
that was not, yeah,
here we
all it
go.
does is give the people that already have large amounts of money the ability to not have to pay labor anymore and just collect more and then give
Yeah.
more to their
So,
shareholders. That's literally all it does. It's just
So it
gross.
yeah, so it's been a day. And then what sucks is I mean like on top of that, it's like this week, dude, I got very sick this last weekend and oh my gosh, I was so upset because, it was the thing. I hate to say like, oh, I got sick all weekend. It was the thing where I started feeling sick on like Thursday. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh no, Atlas has a belt test, like a Taekwondo belt test tomorrow. I was like, I can't be sick. I can't be sick. And then Friday came and I was just feeling worse and was sneezing
Hmm.
everywhere and feeling worse. And I got to the point where I was like, I kind of looked at like my fiance. I was just like, what do I do? And she's like, you can't go. I was like, I know I can't go. And I'm just like,
Oh.
hate this. And I just like I can't believe I had to miss something like that. And I've never missed anything like that of his. So I'm just like, but thankfully she was able to go and that meant the world to him to, have her there and he
And
knows.
Atlas is such a sweet boy. I'm sure he was like, Dad, I'm so sorry you were sick, but I did it. I'm sure
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah, I'm not.
100%, dude. And like I watched all the videos and I was just like so proud and it was amazing. And he did such a good job. But I felt like crap and I couldn't do anything. I was just sitting on the freaking couch. I couldn't move. I was just like one of those like I felt so weak. Like that
Hmm.
sickness where you just like, oh, okay. And it's like it's almost like the depression, but like it's just worse because I'm all
Yeah,
depressed.
it's physically worse. It
Yeah.
is. It's the exact feeling of depression, but just with
Yeah.
like true, like even beyond, because depression causes physical symptoms too. But like, just like yeah, that weight, fatigue,
Oh.
muscles hurt, bones hurt. I don't even know why bones hurt when you're sick. It doesn't make any sense. But
Oh, it was absolutely, yeah, it was a nightmare, dude. And then, so going from that to like starting to feel better, and then as I'm getting better, I was like working on stuff, working on D&D, working on all my stuff, and then like this happened today, and we're just like, okay, like we're here we are. Now we have to figure.
sure seems to be raining shit on Coop Cooper.
Yes. Oh my God, I actually just made that reference the other day. It's so funny. Um, but dude, other aside from that, so clearly we had good weeks and bad week, a good week and a bad week both.
Yeah.
My Easter was great. I ended up feeling better by Sunday. I was feeling energized. Like I was around 85%, I'd say, like
Hmm.
my energy was there. Katie and I like spent the Saturday night just like dude, I built a whole bike on Saturday. Like I had to put the bike together and I because we wanted with an Easter basket, I was like usually we don't do like big gifts or anything with Easter,
Hmm.
But this year I was like, I want to get him a bike because summer's coming. I need to teach this boy how to ride a bike. He's old. He's way too old to not know how to ride a bike. So we got him a bike and like I built it on Saturday and we were like up and like stuffing eggs together and doing all this stuff. And it was fun. And we got, we exchanged gifts. We were both like super excited to exchange gifts. And she got me this critter. If I don't know if you
I
can see
see
it
the
up there.
critter. Yep.
She got me this critter, like it was in a basket with a bunch of other awesome stuff. She got me some cool socks, like a bunch of horror
Aw.
movie socks and like all this stuff. And both got each other candies and that kind of stuff. So like we had a really good Easter, and then like the next day Atlas was all excited, and we had family Easter. It was great. Um, but I like didn't have a lot of time after that, all of that to work on stuff. So now we're at the point, Stephen, where we're talking about what did you actually get done this week?
I got page one entirely inked, and then
Yes.
I got pages two and three like they're going, they're moving.
Okay.
So
Okay, so you made significant like progress on three
just
pages.
not what, yeah,
Not
yeah,
done.
and
Not
just
done.
yeah, just not what
Fuck
I should
ass.
have done.
It's a failure success. We
Yes.
fuck it, fuck ass. Fuck
But
us.
yeah, so now I'm just gonna it's gotta really grind. It's gotta do what I did last time with Bloodlust because Bloodlust was kind of dropped on us last time,
Yeah,
and I just gotta do what I did last. I literally would just come home from work, shower, and then sit on the couch with like,
I know.
a
I know.
bottle of water and then just start watching something
I
stupid and
know.
drawing. It's all you can do
That's
because some things just take time and it just be that
yeah.
way, you
I
know?
mean, that's yeah, it's very true. I mean, now I'm gonna try my best. I'm really hoping I won't have to get another like day job. I might
Hmm.
have to find
Just
something.
first, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try really hard to do like side work and commissions and like editing jobs and all of that stuff. I'm going to like lean into Patreon a little bit and hopefully like, produce more stuff there. I've been also that's another thing. I've been putting all of like more than 100% of our Patreon money into funding YouTube ads to try to
Mm.
like start show a little bit, which has benefited us in that we have more subscribers. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. Um, but also, I can't necessarily do that if I'm also like scrounging.
No, yeah, I think it just becomes one of the situations where you have to like tighten up and
Yeah.
just
So like
focus.
yeah, I've already done
Oh,
what I can to like like tighten like all I went through like subscription services and all those things. I was like, okay, what do we have that we don't need? And we're like, trying to do that and figure things out. And we kind of jumped right into it, with the exception of like the the random bout of like bursting into tears, that situation.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been rough. But Steven, I will say that despite everything, I wrote a significant amount of like rewrites on Stakeout, and I added some stuff, and I think it was really funny. Like I was
That's
like,
awesome. So punched it up even more.
yeah, so I punched it up even more. I added some things, and I really like the little things that I added. I wouldn't say like I'm finished with it because I do want to add some more stuff, but it is improving. In addition to that, Stephen, this week, this week I came up with one of my favorite ideas for an anthology series of
Ooh.
movies, right? And I have KT to thank for this because we were sitting together watching Atlas. Like this is right before I got sick, but we were sitting together watching Atlas in his taekwondo, and I just started thinking about this, like spitballing these ideas to her, and we were trying to come up with like a frame for the. Do you remember the last week or the last couple of weeks I pitched the idea about the relationship where it's like you see the story
Yes.
at different parts of the relationship? Okay, Stephen, what if it's framed like this? There are two people, okay, myself and KT, and we're both with our respective friends. I'm with you, and she's with Tina or whatever, and we're like,
Hmm.
just talking and like swiping through our phones and stuff. And KT and I are both on a dating app. And so we're swiping and we see, like, I see her wherever I am, and she sees me wherever she is. And I like talk to you about it and I go, yeah, but what if she's like, yeah, look, she's gorgeous and we have stuff in common, but like what if I swipe and we match and she becomes obsessed with me or she's crazy? And then it goes into the first date of what that relationship would be based on that paranoia, right? So then you
Like
see,
that fear, like you see the fear manifest basically
yes.
in like this, like,
Yeah, so like that first story would be like the like leaving crazy letters all around. And it wouldn't be a chainmail story. It would be a happy anniversary story,
mm,
even though it's literally our but we've never gone on a
we've
single
never even got it.
yeah.
It's just a
So
bad situation.
a bad situation, right? So like, and it would just be like a fun short, right? And then it's like we go to her and like we see she's like talking to her friend. She's like, yeah, like it looks like we have a lot in common, but what if? And like, so she shares her like fears, and then we do that four times. We have four different stories, and then in the end we meet and something happens. Like maybe it is a horror story, or maybe we're both there to like kill each other or whatever. But like, it's just like a bookend story, so it doesn't matter,
It doesn't matter. It's basically having those segments in between to
Yeah.
showcase like
So
these
the whole
crazy
idea.
irrational fears. But
And so KT said, wouldn't it be fun if it was in the end, it's just a rom-com technically. Like they get together and they're like,
and
yeah,
everything's fine, like just like
everything's great. And
subverted expectations, like no one's died, this horror
yeah.
movie's over with.
Yeah, and it's but like it's fun, because you get the horror within, and I just wanted to keep the framework of like the what could happen in the relationship because you're scared of that the whole time. Like if you go on a first date and you're like, oh my God, yeah, this seems like it's going well, but what if she hates like hates me this part of me or this part of me? So it's like I still want to keep the like, oh, we'll do like a werewolf idea during like the honeymoon phase,
Hmm.
like, and then it'll be so it would be
That's
fun
awesome.
like a breakup. So I think we can get away with that with like four stories, and it would just be the two of us, and then you guys as like helping us on the bookends. And like
Hmm.
I think it would be a fun story, and it could still be called either Love Bites because of the sections, or like Dating Sucks. That would work. It would like various
I
people eat.
wonder if we should like if you should just we should just do like a low but completely low budget version of that and just put it on our YouTube channel. Like just because you can film a lot of it on your own anyway, and then we
Yeah,
just
well, what I
schedule a
was
day to shoot the bookends with Tina and I or
Yeah,
whatever.
100%, dude. And like, well, what I was thinking was, you know, maybe we can do, remember, I mean, I talked about this before in the podcast where it was like, maybe I can try to kickstart the first short and then like so that way I can afford the equipment and stuff. And then,
Hmm.
like, then we'll put it out. We'll make it. We'll release the first short to the people who purchased, to who like back the Kickstarter and everything. And then if it's successful, and we could try to kickstart the second short, and then we'll do that three times, and then we'll essentially maybe just kickstart the rest of it and be like, hey, here it is, or just like do the bookends or whatever it may be. But I think we can do like three separate Kickstarters and push it together to make one movie. That way, it's not overly ambitious. We're not like, hey, we're gonna make, this like crazy, movie. We're just gonna say, we're gonna make this thing and this is what we need, and we could use your help to do it, you know?
And
I,
then just film each one and then make the collective at the end and then
yeah, and I think that would work. I think honestly, I think that idea with the shorts and everything might be a really good way to go for a first film because then with all of that, we get the practice of making the movie. We're
hmm
comfortable
and
with
then
it.
do your feature,
And
you
then we
know?
can do like a real feature with Stakeout, and then we can do Kickstart it and be like, "Hey, this is what we did previously. Here's our work."
Basically turning movies into comic books and
Yeah,
like doing issues of a
use of a
movie
movie
that
essentially,
way yeah, makes
right?
sense.
I mean, is that a good idea? It feels
I
like it.
think so.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking about that. I came up with that, and I was very excited about it. And so I did write stuff, and I felt good. So I feel like I mostly succeeded. I didn't like finish Stakeout, but like I got a good amount done given the situation. So like I'm gonna say we both had a fuck yes.
Yeah, it's been and that sucks too. I found out all that situation because Tina saw on the
Yeah.
post, and I didn't even know about it yet. And I know it just happened, so it's not like you're thinking like, this just happened. I need to run and tell Steven my
Oh,
misery. I know that's not like what you're thinking. So like,
no. I figured
but
I'd talk to
that's
somebody about it.
horrible. Like,
It's
and
really
dude, honestly, like, part of me like, because like it's so funny how the ebb and flow of that works. Because it's
I know.
like my job, it's like, oh, it's so much. But like I'm starting to see our warranty list get shorter and shorter as we're clearing it. And I'm like, what if like I run out of work to do? Like this thing that like,
That's
I
fair.
hate it's just a week. It is just, it pays the
Yeah.
bills though. Like what happens? But we just gotta hold on for the ride and just see what happens. I mean, if it gets like super desperate, one thing like I know that like maybe you could try to do that I think that you would just be really good at, and it's a really easy way to make a lot of money is serve. Just pick find like a cool restaurant and like just pick up a couple shifts. You'll probably make a couple hundred,
Yeah.
a
I know.
shift.
I was thinking about that too, which sucks.
It sucks. I don't even want to think about it, but
I know.
just putting it
I
out
know.
there.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
the least amount of time to earn the most amount of money
that's
with,
what. Yeah. Exactly, dude. I know. I mean, you're totally right. I mean, I like other than that, I was thinking like, okay, what's something where I wouldn't have to like yeah, learn a whole new thing or like go
hmm
like meet a whole new group of people. It was like I could try doing like the Instacart thing or something, but there's not a whole lot of money to be made with that.
hmm
So I was like, oh God, I don't know. I don't know. But it's also new, so we're gonna figure it out. We'll figure,
And
we'll
then
find.
who knows, like, and like, maybe this sucks for now, but maybe it bounces back in the right direction or something happens.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, we're trying to like, keep the faith, like be,
I
just
I
be
feel
positive.
like legislation needs to be put, like, I think AI has gone too far at this point. Like, I feel like they need to put something in place now where it's like, listen, AI can only function because it's stolen from everyone that's ever
No,
created.
Yeah.
And like, how is that legal? You're bypassing copyright law and things like that because there's no true evidence of where it took it from, but it's still doing that, you know? And it's
That's
not a human being who can, when a human being ingests its surroundings and spews out what it
yeah.
interprets it as, that's art. That's the human condition. When a
Right.
machine does it, it's there's no art in that. There's nothing. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so gross. We can
It is
probably.
frustrating. And yeah, I mean, I whatever. I mean, all of that will shake out and we're all going to have to rise against machines at some point, or they're going to have to do like a universal basic income thing and we're all going to be slaves. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, like, well,
So it's scary and weird.
like like do the like corporations or like the people that are making money off of the AI right now, and even the companies that utilize AI and make lots of profits, do they not take into consideration that there's not going to be someone to consume your product if there's not workforce, if there's not people to be able to earn an income to consume
Yeah.
your product?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
it's literally a snake eating its tail. Like, what do you?
Really is. And it's yeah, it's dude, it's infuriating to a degree. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's depressing today and we're figuring it out. I'm hoping it ends up being like just like one of those things where it's like ends up being a blessing in disguise. Maybe something else falls into our laps and we end up
Mhm.
happy. I mean, and who knows, Stephen? Who knows? I'm gonna release a book soon, and maybe it's gonna be just like a
Maybe you become a New York
surprise
Times
hit.
bestseller
Maybe it'll be
immediately.
a surprise hit, Stephen.
Yeah.
Maybe table scraps will just magically like just like hit the whole world in just in their hearts, and they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, this is what we needed the whole time. This makes life better. And then
When we're
like,
at the con this weekend, it's like, was it Frank Sharp? Hi, I'm Frank Sharp from Sharp Records. I want to give you guys a deal.
dude. Oh, dude. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, we have a con this week. If
Yeah.
you're in Southwest Florida area and you don't want to murder either of us, check us out at yeah, we're gonna be at Dave and Buster's, which is very interesting that
I'm
they're
interested to see how this goes. It sounds like they're just setting up a room for this situation,
they
huh?
are setting up a room for this situation. I've seen like the way the tables are. Steven, I'm gonna say it. I'm hoping for the best. I'm rooting for everyone involved. I'm rooting for us. I hope we end up selling at least two books. I feel like it might be a Dave and Buster situation. Like
Dave
I
and busted all over our faces with this
yeah.
silly thing that we.
Yeah. Well, I mean
But I mean,
it's an admirable idea. And, mhm.
in theory, is there an additional charge for people to enter that room?
No. No, as far as
So
I know,
in
it's
in
completely free.
theory, that might be because, like, honestly, let's be real. The Southwest Florida Con, the reason why, like, those, I know they got to make their money, but like, bro, like, even to get my own family to go there, you're expecting my family members to pay $20 a head to just to come,
Right. It's
like,
crazy. A
you're
walk-only
taking,
shop, essentially.
yeah, like, what, like, why, like, why can't the admission be like, I don't understand, like,
It's and it's always that greed and also like insecurity. Because if you had more faith in the situation, you'd be like, okay, well, let's just charge $5 a head. Like obviously
mm-hmm,
kids under 10 or whatever are free. Get in here and we're gonna make, everyone's gonna be happy. We're gonna get some money at the door. We'll make a profit, especially given how much we charge for these dang tables. There's no, like it's just crazy what these cons are doing because essentially they're conning us
mm-hmm.
and everyone. Thankfully, this one, the table was relatively inexpensive. It's just going to be a fun experience. We're going to go
That's
and
what I'm saying. This one does sound better in the sense that Dave and Buster's will probably be doing pretty well on a Saturday in April in
yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
So we might get like a lot of just people that want to pop in and see what's going on in there. And since they're not paying a cover charge to get in, they have more loose money to spend. Because that's what I think is like the
That's what I'm
people that
hoping.
are going to come in and buy a comic book from us, like you're expecting them to like come in, spend $20 just to get in, see
And then,
merch,
or,
see merch of licensed characters that already exist, and
they
then
love.
find the indie guys and buy an indie book on a whim. Like,
Oh, dude.
what's the likelihood? Like
Yeah, it's a hard sell. Otherwise, what are you doing this week?
this week, I'm gonna pump through these pages of Bloodlust, so I can then, and of course, pump through those pages of Deathless issue 4, which in turn will allow me to pump through those pages of issue 5.
Heck yeah.
I
Uh,
got like 60 pages of comics ahead of me, ladies and gentlemen. Well, not 60, probably more like 50, but still.
we're still getting there, yeah. This week I'm gonna color whatever you send me, and I'm probably going to start lettering Deathless because otherwise I'm gonna start lettering Deathless, color what you send me, and I'm going to start working on either Stakeout or that anthology idea. I do like that
Awesome. They're
anthology
both
idea.
great.
But yeah, so that's what I'll do this week. I'll color the pages. I will just start lettering everything, and I will start working on probably the anthology thing because it sounds like that's a good plan for our first film, I
I
think.
think that's a great idea because it makes it basically just making a bunch of short movies, which we've done in the past, honestly.
Yes. I think that's a smart. I think that's good, and I think we can make it work, and I think we can make it pretty good. So everyone out there, let us know what you think of this stuff. Also, please go check out our Patreon and subscribe to the Patreon for $4 billion so we can afford this wedding. So we don't
We
have to start a GoFundMe. We might have to start a GoFundMe.
might
Might
start.
have to, honestly. I'm not above it. I'm going to we might have to do it just because. It's like we've already set up for this wedding. Supposed to be getting married in January, and suddenly we had this like rug pulled out from under us with this.
That
So
is a hell of a rug to be pulled out. I don't like a rug that I didn't even think was possible. I guess the silver lining being that she does still have the job, but like, man, that's still quite the rug, man. Like, that's not someone anyone's ever expecting to hear from
no.
their freaking job.
And she worked there for freaking like 8 years, Steven. Oh, it's just a nightmare. So yeah, we're gonna figure that out. That's another thing I'm gonna do this week. I'm sure I'll be, getting through that stuff. But I'm excited to go to the con. I assume you guys are coming back to our house to play
Yeah,
D&D
I think
party.
it's Sunday is going to be the plans for my birthday
Oh,
stuff. So
sweet.
so
Okay.
I think we're clear to come over Saturday. And I think Lucas is going to drive her and the kids over, so that way,
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah,
Atlas should be home around 6:30 on Saturday, which is cool because then he can hang out with the kids and stuff. So
awesome.
that'll be good. So all right, we have our time planned. Hopefully we get all of our stuff done. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for all of your support and sticking around and not cutting your viewership in half because that happens sometimes. And what the hell? What the hell?
What?
No. But I love you, Steven. Do you want to say anything to the people before we go?
Thank you so much for tuning in each and every week to listen to us ramble about our problems and our love interests. Like, we appreciate each and every one of you. We love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for just being our friends.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you. And let us know below if you've had a good week. We'd like to hear some positivity. If
Mm.
you've also had some trouble, let us know about that too, because,
Yeah.
misery loves company, and sometimes that happens in our colony. So
Don't
that's
leave anything at the door. Bring your troubles, your happiness, your fetishes. No, maybe leave the fetishes at the door. Maybe,
you can just leave them
well,
in
you
your.
can discuss them, but just know that we're gonna.
That's not necessarily why we're at this part. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. We'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Anthony.
I am Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next time.
It's boom. I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen, so I was going for it's raw, but it's boom. It's fucking boom. Boom. Not
So
good
if
enough.
Jeff Ramsey worked at the Outback Steakhouse, he'd make a booming onion.
He'd make a booming onion. This booming onion is raw. It's fucking raw. So Amazon's Hell's Kitchen, Amazon
Oh,
Prime's
it's
Hell's
so it's
Kitchen, it's unedited on there.
unedited,
It's
uncensored, huh?
it's so good because
Is it?
we were watching it on Disney
Yeah,
and it was edited like it
yeah,
was TV. And
yeah.
then Tina's like, I think that the Amazon Prime one is unedited. And I'm
That's
like,
so funny.
and it's a completely different show
I
because now we
bet
can actually hear entire conversations that we couldn't hear before, you know?
that's so funny, dude. I've never even considered it. I never
Yeah.
considered like the unedited ver and I wonder like how does it feel? Is it like tonally different? Does it feel like he's more angry when you can
Bro, Ramsey knows how to hit that F word. I'm just gonna put that
Yeah.
out there. He hits that FU sound, that fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like that really that harsh F bomb, like every time. Every F bomb is intense. It's
That's incredible.
I
Dude,
can
I
see
did
why the chefs get stirred up and
yeah,
like
yeah.
don't want to be yelled at by him because he is like he is more intimidating when he's
You
unedited.
actually hear it? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wondered about that. That's so funny. I have to watch that. I will watch that. Speaking of that, Steven, just speaking of like what we're doing, I have the square. Is your phone still compatible with this particular square?
Is it the lightning adapter?
It's
I believe
the
so. I don't have the USB-C one, so I
No, it's
have
the
light.
lightning. It's lightning.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a square too. I think I found the other one
Oh,
somewhere.
cool. Okay.
I
I
did
mean,
find it, but we'll just
awesome.
bring both anyway.
Awesome. I just wanted to make sure. Like I was preparing everything. Do you see my cool rack that I got?
Yeah, nice rack, bro.
I don't even own a comic, let alone enough to necessitate an entire rack. I do. We
I
have
do.
yeah. No, I it did feel really cool to put those put those out there. I was like I was excited. I got the rack. I set it up. I was like, hell yeah.